And this is where you come in. I brought this to you. You take this out. I would love to collaborate with you on your project that is similar to mine. GRZ UN Joint Program on Gender-Based Violence. Phase 2, I believe, is where you are now. And I would like to become a part very much. I must. It is where I'm supposed to be. I'm bringing this project to you so that you can help me have access to things that alone I would not have access to. I would love to go to the radio stations, talk about this, go on TV, talk about this, talk about the GRZ UN Joint Program on Gender-Based Violence, talk about my album and how it's going to help people going through that. I would like to be your face in this struggle, your representation, your speaker in this struggle. Because people need to know, people need to be aware. And as I increase awareness of myself as an artist, I'm also increasing awareness of what I stand for. And now I would also like to add, I would also like to be a complement, should I say, to this struggle. Not even just a complement, but a partner, a team member. I'm up for hire. But this is why I'm coming to you today. So I reached out to who's been so kind who has been so kind to give me a bit of her time so that I can explain what it is that I would like to work on with you. And she gave me advice, and she told me that I need to go to the GRZ complex and find out how I can be a volunteer. So I agreed, of course. And so before I made that journey to the government complex, I decided to go online and read more on this project I'll be volunteering on. There are a few things, or two things, that disturbed me, that I feel that as a volunteer, I would like to contribute on. I would like to be a part of and see how I can help best. So the two things that I saw are this. First, I will read it on your behalf. In Zambian law, rape is defined as any person who has sex with a woman or girl without her consent, or with her consent if the consent is obtained by force or by means of threats or intimidation of any kind, or by fear of bodily harm, or by means of false representations as to the nature of the act, or in the case of a married woman, by impersonating her husband, is guilty of the felony termed rape. The country recorded 540 cases of rape, translating to 2.4 of the reported cases of GBV in 2018. Of this number, 536 were against women and 4 were against men. The first thing that disturbed me about this report is what rape is defined as in Zambian law. Any person who has sex with a woman or a girl. What about men? Or was this written accurately or inaccurately? I'm not so sure. But if in Zambian law, the raping of a man is not considered as rape, just because only woman or girl has been stated, That's a very big problem. That's very discouraging for men to sue someone, take them to court, and believe without shadow of doubt that they will win. That's the first one that disturbed me. Second, the country recorded 540 cases of rape. 536 were against women and 4 against men. Instinctually, I do not think that it is possible that only 4 men were raped in the year of 2018. And not just men, I'm also including boys. But we'll use this to be more specific. They said men. There is a problem here, apparently. There are not enough men reporting rape against themselves. And so what happens is that all these efforts are all focused in going to the girl child, while these men that are being raped and traumatized are being left out in the rain, ignored, not really considered. And they go and they raise families, or they create families. Families that men who have not managed to overcome their trauma destroy one way or another. Their families become statistics of domestic violence. And these men are seen as perpetrators only. Because how else can we see someone who is violent against their own child, against their own wife? What else is there to see? But these men need help. The men that we are depending on to build our families are being ignored. They are suffering in silence, and they cannot speak out against people not giving them the attention that they need because of stereotype. The stereotype that a man is supposed to be able to be strong enough to take care of himself, go through life and not complain. This is very prevalent in Zambia and the rest of the world, this belief. And because of that, only 4 men, 4 reported, which is very, very, very disturbing. And I do believe that, or I thought after reading this, that a conclusion would be made that more research needs to go into finding out why men are not reporting molestation of not only themselves, but their male children. Because if you're someone who feels ashamed of what happened to you, and it happens to your child, how are you going to get the strength, the knowledge, and the wisdom to understand that you need to take your child to the hospital, your son to the hospital? You need to take your son for therapy. You need to take whoever did whatever they did to your son to court. You need to chase them. You need to do something. It doesn't matter whether your son was molested by a man or a woman. I should even start with woman or a man, because it really does worry me that I have, even personally myself, I have seen this trend of men or young boys being molested by women, and seeing it as some kind of rite of passage. And these men grow up thinking, not all of them, maybe some do manage to get over their trauma, but some of them do not understand when they are at an older age why they are attracted to adolescents. They don't understand. It's a mental problem. It's something that needs to be addressed, and you'll find maybe that the cases of men that are being or that are seen as our perpetrators, if you look back in their life, you see when they were a child or when they're growing up, they may have been something that happened to them, whether it was at home or at a place where they were supposed to be safe. So as a volunteer, I would like to find out more about what's happening to our men. I truly do believe that the answer that we're looking for is in finding a cure for our kings. Because every kingdom in this country, well, not every, but according to the statistics, there are many kingdoms that are failing. Our men are sick. And we keep pumping so much resource, so much love, and so much energy into our girl child, me being one of them, and into our women who suffer. And yet every year the number of cases of domestic violence keep rising, even despite all the efforts being made to curb this number. They're still rising because most of the focus, as I have read, is really focused on getting these guys, these girls, these women help. The statistics that I had read felt biased, ironically, towards one gender. And I think even the person who was writing it probably felt it to a degree. Because at the end of the day, she had to bring back men into the picture and talk about men's involvement. I would like to be a part of this. I would like to be a part of this. I cannot speak too much on this because, to be honest, by myself, I'm new. I'm only getting to know this by what I'm reading. But from what I have seen, I would like to start by getting into involving men a lot more in ending domestic violence than what is portrayed in these statistics. I'd love to be involved in that. I would love for young boys to finally come out and let people know that they've been molested. I would love for a message to be spread that there's nothing to be ashamed of. If you were touched by another man, or if you were touched by a woman, our boys are in trouble. And they're alone. These are our fathers. These are the ones that are supposed to be the backbone of society. Our kings are sick, and we're not helping them enough. So this is also something that I would love to add to how I can help. I'm not going to take this lightly because this is very disturbing. So I would like to personally ask you to send me. Let me go to schools. Let me go to any organization that involves men and how men can end domestic violence. I would like to change the script. To the best of my ability, I would like to, at our next meeting, make another presentation on solutions that I could suggest and come up with apart from the album that I'm working on. I am at your service. I'm here to help and not waste your time. Let me know what your feedback from what I have mentioned is, because now I have come to the end of my presentation. And I thank you so much for taking time out of your day to listen to me. And I truly do hope that I can be of help and service, and that my vision isn't too far-fetched.